Hey, have you been following the story about that global warming protest on Sunday? I went there for a couple hours with a camera crew. We showed you some of the goofiness there, but I also encountered someone who I didn't realize was a journalist, Catherine Porter. She's the one who begged me to come over, begged me to interview her daughter. I did so, even though it was sort of weird. I was very friendly and very child appropriate, but then Catherine Porter wrote a fake article in the Star about my interaction with her daughter. It was just full of lies, which was so weird because she knew I had it all on tape. So yesterday, we showed you the truth behind my interaction with Catherine Porter. She's basically a liar who wanted me to be mean to her daughter and wanted her daughter to stand up to my meanness. Neither of those things happened, so Catherine Porter just wrote a lie in the Toronto Star. We proved this to you by showing you the actual videotape. Well, I brought this to the attention of the Toronto Star's editor-in-chief, Michael Cook, and he did the right thing. He gave me a large letter to the editor, their lead letter today, rebutting the lies of Catherine Porter and actually linking to our website at TheRebel.media where people can see the video in full. I'm very pleased with the editorial responsibility taken by the Toronto Star, at least in giving me the letter to the editor. But I don't know how they can have Catherine Porter to continue to write, because they have to trust her that she writes what she sees. And here, just on trivial matters, we see that she lied and lied and lied because she thought, no one will never know better, which shows a degree of stupidity too, because she knew I was filming the whole thing. How can the Toronto Star continue to employ Catherine Porter? That's a matter for them to decide. That's between Catherine Porter and the editors, and Catherine Porter and the subscribers of the Star. I am none of those people. But I want to talk about one last thing. Imagine if the roles were reversed. Imagine if Catherine Porter was at some event and I was covering her, and then I just lied about the whole thing, just made it all up, ran with the story. Catherine Porter did this, Catherine Porter did that, and she had video proof that I was a liar. Imagine if the roles were reversed. Well, you know what would happen. It would be a national moment of glee by the media party. Everyone would say, you see that Ezra, he's a liar, rah, 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 rah. And it would be a mania. I mean, the media party would close ranks around Catherine Porter. She would probably get some journalistic prize and, a lot of kudos from her peers. But that's not what happened. The opposite happened. A left-wing pro-global warming Toronto Star columnist was proven to be a liar, and a stupid liar because I had it all on tape. And so where's the blowback? There are full-time media reporters in this country. For example, the Globe and Mail has someone named Simon Haupt, who is a media critic. I haven't seen a word from him on this. Jesse Brown has a media criticism podcast that's popular with the downtown crowd called Canadaland. Haven't seen anything from him on this. Now, maybe they're working on it right now. I hope so. But I sort of doubt it because, look, Catherine Porter was a global warming activist. She calls herself a social justice warrior right in her own biography. She was just doing what leftists everywhere do. The ends justify the means. And if that means the odd lie, well, what's the harm? Now, it's interesting to me that the media party is always this way when it comes to journalistic ethics. Remember the endless criticism of Peter Mansbridge and Rex Murphy for giving speeches at oil sands conferences, and the CBC actually came down on both men like a ton of bricks. But compare that to David Suzuki, who also is a presenter at the CBC. He is not subject to the CBC's same rules of disclosure for his speeches to anti-global warming activist groups. And by the way, he charges as much as Peter Mansbridge and more than Rex Murphy. Why is the double standard? Why isn't there a campaign to go after David Suzuki like there was to go after Rex Murphy or Peter Mansbridge? Why is there media silence about Catherine Porter and me, but say, for example, when a conservative columnist like Margaret Wente allegedly plagiarizes a couple of lines in a column, that there's a national outcry and even their own editor writes something publicly about it? It's because the media party is a real thing. The media party, and by that I mean the opinion leaders in the mainstream legacy media, they aren't just reporters. They're activists. They're social justice warriors, just like Catherine Porter. And so if it's between a good leftist like her at a good leftist newspaper like The Star and me, some rash Reform Party rebel in some website, they know who to choose every time. This isn't just about Catherine Porter having their same biases. This is about a personal rivalry with a conservative guy like me. I say to you that the whole incident with Catherine Porter is just more proof. There's a media party in Canada, and they're lying to you. For TheRebel.media, I'm Ezra Levant.